Hello guys, today we solve our sixth question of our LeetCode problem solving journey in C++ and today's question is 941 valid mountain array. Given an array of integers array return true if and only if it is a valid mountain array. Recall that array is a mountain array if and only if first condition array length is equals to 3 and bigger than 3. There exists some I with 0 less than I less than array dot length minus 1. So that, and you see that graph, our mountain array 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that being raised to 1, 0. And not a mountain array 0, 2, 3, 3, 3 and 3 same number, 5, 2, 1 and 0. The same number is equal, that's why that is do not mountain array. In this question, we find one array and that array is same as mountain array. Like first of all, that number one by one increase, and after that one by one increase, and follow this condition. Length is equals to 3 and bigger than 3. Example 1, array 2 and 1. Output false because our first condition length is minimum 3 and that array's length is 2. That's why false. Example 2, 3, 5 and 5 and output false because 5 and 5 is the same number. That's why that array does not mount an array. And example 3, 0, 3, 2 and 1. First of all 0 to 3 that increase number, and 3, 2 and 1 that is decrease number. That's why output is true. Now we solve this question in C++. First of all, I take one variable and that is n array dot size store in this variable and give one if condition if n less than 3 return 0. In bool data type 0 is also false. Now I take one another variable in peak is equals to 0. Peak is our biggest variable in a mountain array. Now I create one for loop for n I is equals to 0, I less than n, and give increment I plus plus, and I give one another condition if nums of I, nums of I, array of I greater than array of p, and if is equals to 1. Now I give one another condition if p is equals to 0 or p is equals to n minus 1, and answer is return false. Now I create one another loop for n I is equals to 0 and I less than p and I plus plus, and I give one condition if array of I bigger than array of I plus 1, return false. Now I create one another for loop for n I is equals to p. That loop start from p and I less than n minus 1. Give increment I plus plus and give condition if array of I, yeah, less than is equals to array of I plus 1 and return false. And last, return true. Now explain that code. First of all, I take one variable and n is store array size and give one if condition and less than 3 and return 0. 0 is also false in bool data type. And I create one variable peak, and peak is biggest number in mountain array. Uh, and I create one for loop and that run 0 to max size, and array of peak variable is smaller than array of I, and that condition is right and peak is equals to 1. And if peak is equals to 0 and peak is equals to n minus 1, because you see in the that chart, our peak is equals to 0 is any number and that number is 0, and n minus 1 is the last element of array, and that both are peak. That's why that does not mount an array. I start one another for loop and that run 0 to peak. That for loop using for increment numbers like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I give condition array of I is bigger than array of I plus 1 and same. That condition is true and give return false. I start another for loop and that for loop is used for a decreased number. Uh, we uh, we use one for loop for increment and use one for loop is for decrement like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 5, 2, 4, 3, 2, 1. You see, I start that loop for from peak to n minus 1, and n minus 1 is our last element of array, and give one condition array of I is equals to array of I plus 1. That both number are same, and that array does not mount an array, and return false, and in last I write return true because all for loop and condition are false, and uh, uh, that array is obviously mount an array. That's why in last I write return true. Now check this code. You see, all cases are accepted. Now submit this answer. Wrong answer. Sorry, maybe I change I and submit. Okay. Sorry guys. Uh, I write I 1 peak is equals to 1. That is my mistake. Now our answer is submitted.